I don't really know what to change in my life. And every time I think of something, I'm like, well, that's not quite right. No, that's wrong. And maybe I have some negative self-talk. Maybe I'm like, Katie, you're so stupid. Why are you thinking like that? Or you're too lazy, or you're not important enough. That's never going to work out for you, right? There might be some of that going on. Today, we're going to talk about change and how to know what kind of change we want in our lives. If you're new here, my name is Katie Morton, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And I received this question this week. It says, "Hi, Katie, I hope you're well." I am, thank you. It says, "I'm currently in therapy and working on PTSD, anxiety, and other things. And during my recent sessions, my therapist has been asking me what I want to change in my life. I just don't have an answer. It's like my mind goes blank. I know I want and need things to change, but it's like I don't know what or how to say what I want to change, if that makes sense. Do you have any ideas or tips that can help?" Yes, I have some tips and tricks and ideas. And the first one that popped into my head is a tool that I use from a type of therapy called solution-focused therapy. You can look it up and learn all about it. I don't love everything about solution-focused therapy, but like any good therapist, I kind of pick and choose from different modalities. That's a modality just means a different style of therapy. But I pick and choose these different tools and skills because there is gold in each and every one of them. And within solution-focused therapy, there is this tool or technique called the miracle question. And what the miracle question is if you were to wake up in the morning and all of your problems had been quote unquote fixed or everything was resolved, how would you know? It's interesting, right? If you get out of bed and you wake up, how is your life different? How do we know that the things that are upsetting us or the things that are causing us anxiety, depression, eating disorders, self-injury urges, whatever, how do we know that those things aren't there anymore? And it's a really powerful question, and I encourage each and every one of you to take some time to think about it. If I got up and everything was better, how would I know? Maybe it means that I slept really well and I wasn't, woken with anxious or trauma-based dreams. Maybe it means that I feel motivated and energized. Maybe I don't wake up and look at my phone and have a barrage of nasty texts from someone. I don't know. What would it look like? That's a great tool to use if we aren't sure maybe what's really wrong or what's bothering us the most. That puts you in your day-to-day life and helps you hopefully see maybe some ways that you're affected and things that would be changed if it was all fixed, okay? So that's where I would start, the miracle question. Take some time and do that. Then the second, and this is something I talk about a lot, and that is journaling. Now I know a lot of you just wanted to click away because you're like, I don't like to journal. Ugh, it's so difficult. Yes, it totally is. Recently, I did a 12-week workshop called The Artist's Way. I love it. Highly encourage you to try it out. But in that kind of workbook, each and every day for that 12 weeks, each and every day for 12 weeks, we were supposed to journal for 30 minutes every morning. Now, was I perfect and did it every morning? No. But I did my best. And I think I only skipped maybe like 3 to 4 days. So every morning I would write. And the goal of journaling, because a lot of you are like, I don't even know what that really means. The goal of journaling is to just put it out there. Don't worry if you can spell things correctly. Don't worry if you can even read it back. In fact, don't read it back. Don't plan on reading it back. Don't care if it makes sense. I found something interesting when I was journaling, when I would start one thought and then all of a sudden I'd be in a whole nother thought process. I'd be like, I'm really stressed about creating this new video and I hope it makes sense for people. And then next thing I know, I'm like, how does sourdough bread starter work? That's how our brain is. It's okay to have it scoot around like that. It's okay for it to jump from one issue to like a non-issue. There's no judgment. Journaling is not the time for judgment. Journaling is a time to let your essentially subconscious or your inner monologue run free. So I encourage you to do that because in there you will come to terms or have realizations about what you really want in your life. I know it sounds crazy and it sounds almost oversimplified, but something I've learned being a therapist and just a human on this earth is that we know what upsets us. We have all the tools and resources that we need to improve ourselves. We just need someone to help us identify them in our life. I know sometimes we think like, but I really need someone to help me. It's not saying we don't need someone to help us. It just means that I have all the resources I'm going to need to fix things or to improve things in my life. I just maybe don't know where I put them, right? I don't know what they look like. I can't find them in my brain. And journaling gives us a little bit of space to almost, I think of it like having this big closet. Like if you were a fan of Friends, Monica Geller had this closet where she just like threw everything she didn't know what to deal with. Sometimes I think my brain is like that closet. It's like cluttered with all sorts of stuff from my entire life, right? And journaling allows us to open that closet, dump everything out, and then kind of start to sort through it, versus what we maybe been doing for weeks, years, our whole lives is just like toss something in there and shut the door real quick. And so give yourself some time, because I'd love to tell you like, oh, this is how you can change your life. This is something that you should improve. But that actually, what's upsetting you. Hence the miracle question and journaling. If we aren't sure when our therapist asks us, it's always okay to say, you know what? I don't know. And maybe just being honest, like when you ask me, then I feel really anxious because how come I don't know? Because in the not knowing in the therapeutic process, and even just in our life, is a lot of helpful information. I know we think that we have to answer it perfectly and we have to know exactly where things are going or what we're going to want. The not knowing is just as important as the knowing. So hang with me. I know that sounds really weird, but often it's in the problem itself that we find the solution. So if the problem is, I don't really know what to change in my life, and every time I think of something, I'm like, well, that's not quite right. No, that's wrong. And maybe I have some negative self-talk. Maybe I'm like, Katie, you're so stupid. Why are you thinking like that? Or you're too lazy, or you're not important enough. That's never going to work out for you, right? There might be some of that going on. That's another piece, another thing that we might want to work on in therapy. That in and of itself shows us in my problem is the thing that I want to change. Do you see what I mean? Because often I think we feel like we have to have the answer, we have to have the goal, but we don't. Sometimes we have to just be honest about where we're at, what we're going through, what we're thinking about, and talk it out with your therapist. That gives you the space, almost just like journaling. That's why I love the combination of both, if we can do it. Between journaling and therapy, we have our alone time with our own thoughts to try to sort it. And then we have constructive time with a professional, and they can help us almost like make sense of it. So in the analogy of that closet, it's like journaling throws it all out there, and our therapist helps us organize it and put it back so we can find it when we need it. Fourth tip is to allow yourself to think outside the box. I know, it's a shitty answer, but hang with me. People always say that, and I'm like, as a super type A, like rigid person, I'm like, so how do I think outside the box? Tell me exactly how I'm supposed to do that. But one thing I have learned through being a content creator that I think is like a powerful tool for all of us is to look around at other people doing things that you like. So like as a content creator, I look at other content creators. If I want to revamp my videos and make them more exciting and different, I have to look at other people that are doing things that I like, and I have to think to myself, why do I like that? So look out at other people in your life who are living life, like maybe a life that you feel a little bit jealous of. It's okay. We don't have to judge our emotions. Everybody feels jealous from time to time. But to think about it, I really like her life. She looks like she has it together. Things seem to be good. Let's dig into that. What is it? What does it look like? Why do we think things are so good for her or him or them? Like, what is it? Pay attention to that, because sometimes it's in that we can also find maybe the goals, things we can strive for. Because when we have a goal, oh, you know what it is? She feels fulfilled by her job. Maybe that's what we boil it down to. Oh, maybe it is she has a really good close friend that she can vent to a lot, and I would love to have that. Or, she has an improved relationship with her brother. I don't know what it could be. Any number of things. Write those things down, because having those goals helps us then work backwards from that. So if the goal is to have a job that's fulfilling, that means that if we work backwards, we're like, maybe we need to take some time to assess what it is we like and don't like about our job. Maybe we need to beef up our resume to get it into a place where we feel good about it. Maybe that means we need to take a course and, better ourselves so we can apply for a different job. I don't know what it is, but you know what I mean? You work your way back, and that gives you some actionable steps to take today. I hope that was helpful. It can feel overwhelming sometimes to go into therapy and to have someone ask us like, hey, how do I do this? Or I want to change, but I don't know what. Or I've heard from a lot of you, I don't know what to work on first. Taking some of these steps can help us kind of sort out what often feels like it's spinning at 100 miles an hour. It can slow it down. It can give us some time to assess the things that are upsetting, acknowledge the things that we like to do, help us see it more clearly versus feeling like it's flying by in a blur. So let me know, What are some things that you want to change? What's a tip or trick maybe that you wish I'd mentioned that has helped you figure out what things you want to change in your life? Or maybe even share what positive change have you made lately, because we can all ride off of your high and get, supportive of each other and excited about that, because we can change and it can get better. It just takes a little time to figure it out. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.